Hi, Madonna, Louise Veronica Ciccone here.
When will you understand that I am a person and not a thing?
Look it up.
Do something else. Do my eyebrows.
Better to say, am I being true to myself? And is this what I want to say? And have I expressed myself the way I want to express myself? I mean, that's what it's all about.
Hey everyone, this is Michael Politakis, and you're listening to MLVC, the Madonna podcast.
Oh, you say that so well, Michael.
Thanks.
Hey everyone, it's Stefan. Welcome to another episode of MLVC. As you heard today, we have a guest host on the show, Michael Politakis. He's coming all the way from London for this. So thanks for joining us across the pond, Michael.
Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Are we keeping you up late, or you've just come back from the pub?
No, I've just come back from the gym. It's 8:40 p.m. So we're still relatively early. The days are starting to get quite short. Like it's getting darker soon. Like about a month ago, it was still like sunlight. So it's swinging into some fall weather now. It's
well, glad that you're staying fit, staying healthy. I thank you for wearing the little muscle shirt I see you wearing.
Not a problem. Only for you, Stefan.
I'm surprised you're dressed at all for this. Your Instagram usually, for a fashion designer, you actually wear little clothing on your Instagram. So no complaints. No complaints.
Different kind of statement. I am, as a Madonna fan, I'd be remiss to do anything else.
Well, so speaking of the dark, I actually think that, sort of alludes to Madame X and the Madame X world, a very dark and mysterious world and whatnot. And I kind of wanted to, I know this isn't a technical This Week in Ciccone, but I kind of wanted to do a little This Week in Ciccone just because there's something brewing in the Madonnaverse. Can you give me a little British This Week in Ciccone?
This Week in Ciccone.
See, I get what I want.
Yeah, so with Madonna this week, I mean, it's actually fortuitous that you and we were going to record earlier in the week, and our scheduling got a little crazy, and we had to push it, which is actually good because between now and then, Madame X contest has popped up on Madonna's Facebook page. Apparently, they're inviting fans to the premiere that's happening in New York City on Thursday of this week, which is tomorrow or whenever in the past, whenever you're listening to this episode. You had to post your best Madame X secret agent photo. As of recording time, I do not have a message from Madonna's team. So either I am not going to the Madame X premiere tomorrow, or they haven't sent their emails yet. So who knows? I don't know.
Fingers crossed. I mean, you guys at least saw the show. I didn't manage to get to see it when I came to London. I was a bit gutted, but
why was that again? Why didn't you get to go?
I just moved. I literally just moved as soon as it came into town, and £400 for a ticket. I mean, could I afford it? Was it worth it? And then she was cancelling every other show. Mm-hmm. I was just, I'll wait for the DVD.
Little did you know.
Yeah, here we still are. Pandemic, and 2 years later, and we're talking about the premiere from a month away still. So
yeah, so I know it's, again, everyone listening, just goes to show you can have a 3-season Madonna podcast and still not get invites to parties at the Boom Boom Room or tour film premieres in New York City. It's just,
That Boom Boom Room looks so good. I was so envious of all the people that were there. Some of them weren't even fans. And it's like, are you kidding?
I know. I don't quite know how people get into those events when they're not fans. They must know people, and they just want to be part of the excitement.
Totally. Absolutely. I think it's all an industry kind of thing. Half of them probably couldn't even name a Madame X song.
Yeah. Well, so now let's talk about Madame X just for a second, since the premiere is imminently upon us. You are a huge stan of the Madame X era.
Yes. One of the very few jokes.
Well, that's why I'm bringing it up, because there's a lot of people who actually they just want this era to be over and done with. They want new. They want fresh. They're tired of talking about Madame X. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, listen. I agree. It's been 2 years. I think a Madonna era that's kind of been drawn on for this long, that was so front loaded, it's like, okay, cool, let's let's see something a little bit. And it feels like she's moved on as well, like her Instagram feed, what she's been giving us, the kind of the content, her looks. You know, they're very much evolved now from that era. But I love that era. I mean, from start to finish, it was just incredible as a package. You know, everything from the music. It's very prolific given what we've been going through for the last almost 2 years now. And then you look at all the videos and the content. I mean, not since, even before Confessions, not since I think maybe even Ray of Light, did we get something from start to finish where she was absolutely committed to serving us a look, a sound, an era that even the tour, I mean, I've not seen it yet, but, you know, that is something that is completely new and different for her. And I mean, the fact that she's, you know, she was 60 when that album when the album was released, and she's still giving us something fresh and something different, I think, is so applaudable. And that's why, I mean, you know, I get so frustrated at the fans that kind of want another Confessions era, because, you know, if you followed her for the last 30, 40 years, you'd know that she's never going to give you that again. She's always going to make you beg the question. Always, if you're going to tell her that you can't do it, she's going to be saying, well, F you, I'm going to do it anyway. And right. I mean, that's in her nature. So I think I love that era because I think it was a big step forward again after some eras that, you know, kind of weren't as creative and as a little bit hit and miss in the terms of quality. So yeah, I
had read that, or Rihanna just was interviewed because she has her new Fenty fashion show coming up, and apparently Lourdes is one of the models in that fashion show. It's a pre-recorded fashion show video. And have you seen the picture of Lourdes in the show? Yes. She looks beautiful. She looks great. Yeah, it's amazing. Kind of the crazy. She's got a Fenty. She's got that kind of that aesthetic for Fenty. Kind of a very beautiful, haunting, interesting kind of look to her with this voluptuous, beautiful body. And I applaud Rihanna for her team for using Lourdes. I think it's a great move. Yeah, and I think Troye Sivan's one of the models in that show, and there's a whole bunch whole bunch of celebrities that she's using, not just regular models, which is nice. But apparently, when she was at the press conference about the Fenty fashion show or whatnot, she had said that she's working on new music and that it's nothing like you've ever heard her do before. It's going to be a complete surprise. And somebody had tweeted about it online and said, "Oh, so she's basically entering her Madame X phase." Yeah. And I thought, exactly. You know, now that Madame X is out there and it's experimental and everyone, you know, Madonna she set the bar. So. She set the bar. It's experimental world music. I want more of it. I'm going to be so unpopular to say that I was thinking the other day, I'd love a Madame X Volume 2 where it takes on from where, we've spoken before about, my love for, those bonus tracks, that kind of that Ciao Bella house experimental vibe, and just kind of takes it even further. I think that'd be so cool. Get us on the dance floor, but get us, doing some weird stuff again. I love that. Yeah, I'm more than support her picking up where she left off with Ciao Bella and going in that direction, because I thought Ciao Bella was such a fun, interesting song, and we need that on streaming too, by the way. We do. I need it on my gym playlist. It's just, I know that I have it on my phone, but it's it's easier when I'm on ADD mode and I'm just skipping around and I just want to I want that now. I want that now. Exactly. Going onto YouTube is a pain in the ass. Yeah. Okay, so actually, since you're a fashion designer in the UK, and you and I have had we've been having a bit of a chat / heated debate about Madonna's appearance at this year's VMAs. That sort of prompted an idea that I had to sort of talk about Madonna's fashion. So to let everyone in on our conversation / debate, you really loved Madonna's look at the VMAs. Yes. I was not as big a fan of the outfit she wore on the show, but I was gagging over the after party outfit. So I just thought that sort of that jumping off point would be a good conversation starter to have for us about fashion. So let's talk a little bit about the VMAs. Why did you love that outfit so much? I mean, I think it's probably less about the outfit, because I think we've seen her do something quite similar before. It was by no means for her groundbreaking. Ass, titties. She looked incredible. She looked incredible. I just love that,
no one of her age, no one of her peers that have come before her will ever be brave enough to make that kind of a statement, I think. And it's, again, like I kind of touched upon before, her kind of making her own rules, and that was, I think, incredible to kind of come out and look like that. She was cinched for the gods. She was absolutely cinched. She looked incredible. She was all of it. She was all of it. So I just loved I think the bravery of that look. I think it was incredibly Madonna. It was very on brand. I agree with you, though. I think the after party look was the better look. That head, the wrap around, her face, and the simplicity of the leotard. I just thought that was beautiful. That was almost like a Playboy bunny kind of nod, but kind of sinister. I think, and that's very Madame X, isn't it? You take something that's incredibly feminine, and then she would turn it around and make it almost subversive. So yeah, I think the little apron thing, give or take, I just love that Madonna's exploring latex in her
yeah.
Like the lingerie, the latex. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I think that Madonna's outfit on the show, the actual broadcast itself, I think that was more about the tits and the ass. I don't think that was about like, look at what I'm wearing. I think it was look at what I'm not wearing.
Exactly. And I mean, that turnaround is iconic. It's going to go down.
I mean, come on. That's just like, I love that. Again, we were talking about this just last week, 40 seconds on stage, and she's one of the most talked about moments from that show, which is like, good for her.
Absolutely. She didn't fall off stage this time, thank God.
Oh, stop it. So general fashion question. What do you think about Madonna's general style these days?
I think it's fantastic. I think she's finally given up the idea that an artist needs to be intriguing. And I think that's probably what she was fighting for, I think, on social media for the last 5-10 years, which is why I don't think she really kind of played ball with it. And in the last year, since we got Pink Donna, which is almost a year ago now.
I can't believe it. Let's just appreciate Pink Donna again for a second. Come on,
those simple little goth Matrix outfits were just exquisite. Like, she was doing the least and giving us the most, I think, which is what I loved about the hair, the that black kind of top with the car, that kind of little car photo shoot that she did, I think at one point was really, really cool. And
I have that on a t-shirt. I love that. Really? I loved that shot so much. I have it on a t-shirt.
I mean, it's that's kind of album cover material. Like, I think it's really, really sleek. It's fantastic. It's very clever, and I think she's finally gotten on board with the idea that she has to play ball now with social media, and she has to now use it as a talking point between eras to kind of stay on people's mouths. And I think what she's wearing now, I think a lot better. I mean, I was looking at her Instagram feed the other day. Her feed, Madonna outfits, that incredible Instagram page, which I love.
It's amazing.
It's such a great archive, and you go on there and you look at. She's actually wearing a large kind of spectrum of young and up and coming designers too. It's not just your Gucci's and your Pradas and the
old school stuff that she's been supporting for years and years.
No, there is so much in there that is quite designers that I know that it's kind of more of a fashions kind of brand, and I love that she kind of, whoever's styling her and working with her is doing an excellent job of kind of getting her into some very, very, very cool stuff, especially in the last 6 months.
So you think her styling team is doing good?
I think they're doing excellently. I just think they're doing a fantastic job. I mean,
well, because if you looked online after the VMAs, people were saying her team needs to be fired immediately.
Yeah, but they're idiots. I don't know. I think she's kind of the artist now. It's like, you've got who needs enemies when you got fans like hers. It's just come to the point now where you're going to have so many people who have such a nostalgic kind of attachment to her and can't really shake the idea of her being a current artist who's making a current statement. I mean, how many times have we now starting to hear Hard Candy and people starting to appreciate it? And you look at American Life, you look at some of her like Rebel Heart. I mean, at the time they were hated on, and now all of a sudden everyone's loving it again. Oh my God, her look through the Super Bowl was exquisite. But at the time, people were criticizing that, saying that it was a knockoff of Kylie Minogue's Aphrodite tour, and they never do anything right. And then all of a sudden, 5 years later, people's brain switches back into they kind of removed from the context of that specific moment, and they see it for what it is, and they're like, "Oh, actually, that was actually really fucking great. That was really, really awesome. I loved that."
Yeah, I mean, look, that's happened to me. Like I remember when the whole erotica era was very unsettling for me. you know, I was witnessing it live, you know, every time she'd come out with a video or a fashion shoot. And I specifically remember that when she did the Vogue photo shoot where she's wearing all the 70s outfits, it was basically done the same time that she recorded the Deeper and Deeper video. And she had you know, shaved off her eyebrows, or just like the entrance to her the sex book premiere party when she dressed as like Heidi on acid. And now, I mean, I look back on it now and think, oh my God, that is so brilliant and ballsy and wonderful. Yeah. But when it happened, I thought we had lost Madonna.
Yeah, totally, because her painting had to be gone. Like, she was crazy.
Yes. I felt like, you know, I had sort of fell so hard in love with the Madonna Vogue persona.
Of course.
And then between Justify My Love and Erotica, the single album era introduction, I sort of felt like, oh my God, Madonna's gone off the rails. What has happened to the brilliant artist that was just on stage at the VMAs, you know, with a fan in, you know, Victorian couture, like
Mary Antoinette.
I was like, where has she gone? Like, I just thought I'm like, I was saying, this is the end. She's, you know, like, she must be on drugs, you know?
Yeah, of course, everyone was. Yeah, little do we know, she's one of the most, like, you know, regimented people that's out there. It's crazy.
But I can understand where sometimes things that she does, things that she wears, things, you know, maybe statements that she's making, they will come out and people are stuck on loving maybe the last thing she did or from 2 years ago or whatnot. Yeah. And that's the Madonna they're loving. Yeah. And then she goes left when they think she's going to go right, and they're upset about it. So I get it.
Yeah. Listen, I do too. There are some moments, you know, that I'll look back on and think, oh, I didn't really like that, but I like it now. And I think that is the beauty of Madonna. I think a lot of what she does music-wise is quite timeless. What she does fashion-wise, however, is incredibly, it's very much a statement. She's always kind of pushing the boundaries, but, you know, I think she's very much in control of what she does. It's very much on her own terms now, and I think it's really refreshing to see a certain kind of confidence and a glint back in her eye, where I feel like we lost it a little bit through like the last decade or so. Not totally. There were moments where it kind of, you know, she was very much at her best, and there were moments where it wasn't the case. But I love the confidence that she's kind of exuding now on her social medias. And if it means that there's some photoshopping on some pictures, I'm happy to take it, you know. I mean, she looked incredible in the unedited photos as well at the MTV Awards, the after party stuff. She looked amazing. So
I know. It's weird that she chooses to use so much face tuning on her Instagram because I think she looks great in person, you know?
Yeah.
And I saw one of the after party pics, I mean the video and whatnot. She looked amazing. I was like, girlfriend doesn't need to use a face tuner, you know?
No, she doesn't. You know, I think there's a picture I think with Kid Cudi actually, the unedited version. She looks even better than the edited version. I thought she looked great because it was like the Madonna that, you know, we know and we love. So I definitely think that, I think the whole nostalgia thing is great, but you know, it's nostalgic. It's there for a reason, and I'm so grateful we've got someone who is wearing the most current designers, who's trying to work with some of the most current producers. They're still trying to piss people off. Like if she had lost all of that, and I you know, yes, confessions, very like Madonna, she was exquisite, she was married, she was wholesome, and she was more palatable for a lot of people, but I would have feared that she probably would have gone down the opposite direction and become a complete boring mess.
Right.
Had she kind of ventured down that route, and, you know, people would have then, we really missed that kind of more juvenile or more fun, playful Madonna. And now we kind of get a taste of a bit of both. That's what I quite liked about Mad MX. We got the artist and we got the more carefree Madonna.
Exactly. I mean, people are vilifying her for wearing the outfit that she showed up at the VMAs for, but it's like, if she was dressing like Stevie Nicks all the time, we'd be bored and over her and be like, I'm tired of Madonna.
Yeah, no, I think it's I
mean, I love Stevie Nicks, don't get me wrong, but it's
love Stevie.
They're very, very different and
they are,
as artists.
They are, you know. I don't know if I'd love it if she'd aged like Annie Lennox. I love Annie, and I love, you know, what Annie's done with her career. She's incredible, yes. But, you know, and it's very much on brand for Annie to have aged in the way that she has. I think she's amazing, but that's not Madonna. That would never have been Madonna. They're very different artists. So, you just got to buckle up and enjoy the ride. Otherwise, you know.
Exactly. It's sort of like being a Madonna fan is like when you get on a roller coaster in an amusement park and you've seen the ride from afar, But it's very different when you're going up that hill and you're like, oh shit, we're gonna go down this hill and we cannot get off the car. You know, like there's nothing you can do. That's sort of like being a Madonna fan. You know, like you sign up. Sorry, kids. That's what's gonna happen.
I mean, yeah, I've got a good friend out there. You know, before, I mean, I love Mad MX, but you know, there was that at that point in that era when Future had just come out and Crazy had just come out, and loved Medellin. Crave hadn't really grown on me, and Future I still don't really love to this day. And I was ready to write it off. I was like, I'm out. What is this? I'm done. And then thankfully, like, you know, as the era evolved and the album came out, it was like, oh, sigh of relief. Okay, this is excellent stuff. We got some good stuff to work with.
So also this week we learned a little bit about the fact that Madonna is going to be the most photographed woman in the world on the cover of V Magazine coming out on November 1st. And apparently she's doing an homage to Marilyn Monroe. There's like people were posting stuff that it's about like the Marilyn Monroe death scene. I think there's like a photo shoot that Marilyn Monroe did, and then also a bit of a nod to like the room that Marilyn Monroe's body was found in or whatnot. Have you seen pictures from like the teases from that?
The teases looked incredible. The face on image where she's just looking at the camera and she's got someone working on her makeup, I think is exquisite. That is, again, album cover material. Like, give us another Celebration or, you know, greatest hits with that as the album cover, please. Like, that is perfect.
Yeah, it was very sort of Bad Girl video look, you know, or like the single cover for Bad Girl.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, very, very that energy. The photo of her lying down with a crucifix on her back, like the Marilyn image, I thought was very, very cool, and it could be quite powerful when it comes out if it does take a nod to Marilyn and that kind of time of her life. But yeah, I love it. I think it looks really, really racy. It could be really cool. I love that she's kind of nodding again to Marilyn. I think there's, you can tell whenever she goes into a bit of damage control with her career, right? She's kind of had the last 10 years where she's kind of felt a little out of control, I think, with her image. And now all of a sudden, she's, like I said before, she's playing game a little bit. And she's now, okay, I now know what I need to do to be in a place where I can really take advantage of this potential biopic. I can take advantage of, you know, the 40th anniversary. What do I got to do to get into people's good graces? You know, after American Life, she kind of gave us Reinvention. After Erotica, she gave us Bedtimes. But after Hard Candy, MDNA, she didn't really give us enough to soften her image up and to really kind of warm up to her again. And I think this is her doing that all over again. It might be a bit of a renaissance in a sense. It might be that we're starting to see people, hopefully, you know, turn into her favor again. I would love to see that before, you know, she kind of does end her career. It's not going to be maybe Confessions big, but, you know, you don't get people rolling their eyes whenever you say that you really like Madonna. You get people being like, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I saw her. Yeah, she's looking great these days.
Yeah, she's looking fab. Yeah.
So I'm wondering if you had the opportunity to dress Madonna, what types of looks would you be putting her in?
I mean, I love androgynous Madonna. I love Madonna in a suit. I love it when she leaves the image behind and goes full-fledged artist and just gives us something that is completely androgynous. I love Richard Quinn, so his latest fashion. Again, great thing that we're speaking today because his fashion show in London premiered yesterday, and it's just that perfect mixture of feminine and subversive, quite like Madame X, but even more colourful and a bit crazier on top and quite over the top. I know every designer now is every famous person is now wearing Tom Brown, but I loved, you know, stuff, especially back in the day, that real cinched suiting, you know, real kind of cropped, quirky shapes. These runway pieces are, you know, next level. They're really sort of very theatrical, and I would have loved to have seen her in more of his stuff. I don't think she's ever really worn much of his stuff. I would dress her into that, but, you know, anytime you can get Madonna in a suit. I grew up, you know, with the Erotica era. My first memory of her was Bye Bye Baby at the MTV Music Awards, sorry. Back when was it 1992? That was my first memory of her with the silver tooth. I love that. I think any woman can really pull off a suit so bloody well, and I would be dressing her up more in that kind of oversized tailoring, just really kind of pushing those kinds of boundaries with gender norms and kind of really bringing her into that kind of spectrum, because I think of anyone, she's probably one of the few artists that can pull it off. You know, you look at like Rihanna, who can do that. You know, there are very few people that kind of sit in that world where, you know, they wear the clothes, not the clothes wear them.
Right. Where, like, I think some artists might wear a suit and it looks like a costume on them.
Exactly.
Whereas Madonna wears a suit and it looks like she's wearing a suit.
She looks like she's wearing a suit. I think she just holds it so wonderfully and so well. And I'd be playing in that kind of room because I've got a bit of a tailoring background. I've done a lot of men's suiting mostly, but I love a suit. I think it's absolutely, it's a sign of when it's well fitted. There's almost nothing better fashion wise. So seeing her in a lot more of that, I would love. But I think what she's wearing at the moment, there's a lot of latex. Like I said, there's lots of lingerie. I think that's a really fun world that she's kind of dabbling into. She's feeling her oats, so to speak. I quite like what we got with Madame X with the big prairie sleeves, the over the top kind of shapes, which I think were amazing. The photo shoot where she's bent over with her arms strapped behind her back, you know, not even facing the camera, I think is one of the most iconic images from that era. I think that's really, really.
Well, I was really disappointed cool. We didn't get that in a video.
Yeah, me too. The whole like covering her crotch with all those wonderful trinkets all over her fingers. Like I loved that. That campaign for me actually inspired a collection that I worked on about a year ago now that actually got me into the job that I'm in now. So it was through Miss Madame X that I've been able to kind of get that. But I love the colors.
Dear Madonna, thanks for inspiring me. I got a job.
yeah, on my typewriter.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, I guess that'd be the kind of the area that I'd play with if I had the luxury of styling her.
Now, is there a specific album era that you think had the most successful fashion for her? You know, I mean, other than like Madame X, or like, was there one that you thought was more successful than the others, or least successful than others?
I think Ray Light, it was a complete reset. That was meant to be a full career reset. And you look at not only the music but the visuals, the intelligence and the simplicity of playing with darkness and light. You know, you look at her frozen look, and then you look at Ray Light. You know, they are two ends of a spectrum of light and darkness, and you know, such a simple idea yet executed so beautifully and so well on to really kind of convey what she was wanting to sing about on that record. And I think it really signified her as an artist as well. Like, she wasn't around, she wasn't, you know, there to not play ball anymore. She was really, really, really making a statement with that record. And I think the harmony of everything kind of married together perfectly.
Yeah.
So that for me was probably what worked really well. I think another era was Confessions. It was so simple. A leotard, a pink freaking leotard, and everyone knew that was a Madonna thing through that, you know, 95, 96 era. Madonna, the leotard, you know, that classic chunky kind of heel, or the Gucci and Tom Ford Gucci she was wearing, you know, those beautiful jackets and those simple 70s skirts and her Farrah Fawcett hairstyle. It was simple, but it worked, you know.
I was surprised to learn how much homage she was doing in the Confessions era. Like, yes. Because of thanks to, I think, Madonna Outfits. Like, if you follow that account on Instagram, they'll share like some of the inspiration, or like give credit to like who it was that designed the outfit. And I think they had spotlighted a bit about her Confessions era, and she's literally almost copying exactly some stuff that ABBA wore, or some stuff that like I think in Saturday Night Fever, like such specific references that she is. It's not exact, but it's so close.
Very close. I think she's very intelligent where she gets her references from. That's one thing. I think she's incredibly intelligent where she takes her references. They're not very obvious. And she picks and chooses and cherry picks, but she does it in a way that it's always going to be Madonna. But I think that era, it always makes me cringe when people say, you know, she was going back to her roots in the 80s. No, she was going beyond that. She was celebrating the 70s, you know, and 80s music never sounded like Future Lovers. It never sounded like Isaac. It never sounded like Hung Up. It was 80s pop music, and what she gave us on Confessions was so incredible. So I think stylistically that really kind of just was beautiful. Just again, a lovely harmony where just all the stars kind of collided beautifully, I think. I mean, of course, I think I love, I guess the kind of controversial imagery on erotica, I think was beautiful. I've got a copy, one of the original copies of the sex book, and I just bring that out every so often and just like drool over that. That is just so, I mean, not in that sense,
No,
just over the artistry, like I think it's incredible that she's able to go there. The image with Naomi Campbell, like it's just so ferocious. Like who would have the balls to do that today? No one.
Well, nobody's doing
no
that.
one.
Yeah. I don't think anyone's done something like that.
I'm going to be a little bit, I think other eras have worked less as well. I think MDNA is incredibly underrated for the fashion.
Mm-hmm.
I wish he took that kind of 50s vixen even further, like what we got on tour. I wish that was the actual lead for the campaign, rather than the Egyptian kind of semi-American give me all your love and cheerleader, girl gone wild, bad London tacky gay bar kind of video that she kind of gave us with that. I just wish she gave us, like Beautiful Killer as a lead single, Gangbang as a controversial video, and that full-on Vixen style would have been absolutely amazing. I think she really captured it so perfectly on tour. I thought that tour was insane. I think that was a lot better. But in some of the looks and some of the campaign stuff and the album covers, the album cover was great, but the booklet was quite eh. Yeah. And then you get like Sticky and Sweet. So again, Hard Candy, I look back at Hard Candy and I think I wish she again played the idea of the boxer thing, because the Sticky and Sweet booklet is one of the best booklets that I've ever seen on it.
It's so love good. That. The tour book.
Where were the fucks given on for the album cover? I know she tried to do the Black Madonna thing and it kind of didn't work, and all the budget was spent elsewhere. And then they kind of had to rush and then do the kind of the Candy Wrapper kind of album that we got. But that whole boxer theme, I think, could have been really, really played upon a lot more.
There were so many outtake pictures, like photo shoots that she did for Hard Candy that you never saw like the official light of day. Like, I mean, fans have found them and published them. And I thought some of the styling was really interesting and fascinating.
I thought it was, I think with Sticky and Sweet, I think at the time I kind of mocked her like oversized boxer shorts. But when you look at the what came 10 years later with Street Style and the tracksuit, the black tracksuit pants, the oversized hoodies, she was kind of like playing a little bit on that, either intentionally or not intentionally, in that era. And I look back on that tour now, and it's almost as though it's incredibly timeless, because she's wearing just the simplicity of it all looks fantastic. And it's the tour isn't a look tour about looks. That's more of a tour about energy. Yeah. That whole like idea of something, this upbeat kind of party where she's gone on this stadium tour and is.
Well, also, look how fit I am.
Yeah. I've been,
because Madonna's really fit in that tour. I watched that again. I'm like, wow, I really sold this tour short when I saw it in person. Like I'm like, and then like the set list, I was like, I wasn't crazy about the album at the time, and now I'm like, I'll watch the tour video, and I'm like, wow, she's amazing in this.
Yeah, I mean, look at the athleticism on "Give It to Me." After 2.5 hours, and what she just. No one quite dances like she does, and that athleticism is absolutely mental. Like that kind of on the floor choreography as she's doing that Get Stupid bit, and I think it's amazing. But I do really quite like. Now that I look back on that, I think I'm warming up to the Hard Candy era a lot more than I was once upon a time. Of course.
What do you think about her early '80s fashion? You don't seem to mention that ever.
No, because I think the '80s stuff for me is when I love it. To me, it's almost like. It's like this part of her career and this part of her time that's very much like it's the Madonna, it's the 80s Madonna, it's it's almost like another artist for me, because those first 3 albums were wonderful pop records and the videos were amazing, like Open Your Heart is probably one of my all-time favorite pop songs along with the video. I think they're incredible. They were great, but they look very 80s, even though I wasn't around for that. I wasn't around for the impact that had. But I can look back on that era. For me, it's everything from 1990 or 1989 with like a version onwards that has really kind of impacted me in my childhood and then me as a designer growing up. But I think they're fantastic. I love that early tomboy kind of image again. The oversized waistcoat, baggy trousers, and then you kind of see her starting to grow into the star as well. You look at Lucky Star, the budget's a little bit more. Right. Borderline, is it Lucky Star or Borderline? There's one of the videos where she's you can tell there's money being invested in.
Borderline definitely had much more money.
That's it. Yeah. Sorry, that's the one. Because Lucky Star, is she like rolling around on the road?
Well, Lucky Star is just like studio shoot one outfit.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, cool. And then, and then of course, like a virgin, like that's where she became the bona fide pop star we know her today. But that for me, those looks through that era, to me feel quite costumey. The Marilyn Monroe, the wedding dress in Like a Virgin.
Sure.
I quite love the Into the Groove video though. That look through that is, that's quintessential ladies Madonna. It is wonderful. It is really cool. Yeah. I mean, it was just so interesting. I think her legacy is, using fashion. I think as she's the first artist to really use it in such a device. Well, to continuously use it in a device. I mean, fashion and musicians have been, synonymous since the beginning of time. But she's constantly kind of used fashion to reinvent herself in her image. And it was only until Gaga in 2009 that artists fashion designers were gifting artists luxury garments. Before then, no one except for Madonna was being gifted stuff. She was the only one.
Yeah, I think I read in a magazine article one time that she said, if you're my friend and you're at my house at the right time of the month, you can pick out like whatever outfit you want from a designer's fall collection, because they just literally, people just send her everything from their collections and she can wear whatever she wants.
Which is why I think she's bringing out all those vintage pieces. Like I was looking at, oh my God, I'm really bad with names. But she's like, the last year I've noticed there's like, this is from fall 2003. This is from, that would have been the height of, her kind of second career, where she would probably be gifted everything under the sun. Like this is from 1998, and she just casually pulls that out underneath, a jacket or whatever she's, wearing at the moment. I love that. I love that she's kind of starting to reference herself and other artists. I think that's incredible. She's an artist, so it's really great to see her do that.
Well, I think it might be time for Tony's favorite part of the podcast. What do you think, Michael?
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Let's give Michael a very happy MLVC lightning round. So, Michael, as you know, you listen to the podcast. The lightning round is meant to just be off the top of your head, wherever you're at in your Madonna journey today. So don't overthink it too much. No, favorite Madonna song?
Hanky Panky.
Oh,
that's literally what
I think you're the first person to ever say that song on this
I hated that song for the first last 10 years, and in the last year, it's just I can't get enough of it. That and the I'm Breathless album I think are actually incredible, but paid them no mind or no attention until very, very recently.
My bottom hurts just thinking about it.
Yeah.
Favorite Madonna music video? Quick.
Yeah, Justify My Love.
Yeah, come on.
It's generic, but it's like if you were to send that video to an alien race, that's Madonna.
The oversized alien head would probably explode. Favorite Madonna tour?
Shit. I'm going to go Drowned World because I think it's just something out of this world.
I would agree. I rather like Drowned World tour.
It's again, when she puts her artistry over the image and the prettiness, she excels and just becomes beautiful, I think, and incredible as an artist. So.
Well, actually, so we're going to pause lightning round for just a second. Fashion on Drowned World tour. What are your thoughts on that?
Amazing. I wish she wasn't married to Guy Ritchie at the time, because then she wouldn't have worn those fugly ass jeans underneath the freaking Scottish kilts.
You don't think that works? You didn't like that?
I think it does. I think it does now. I look back on it now with that 80s kind of like the 2000s kind of low rise waist, slight flare on the bottom. It totally works. It's very cool, especially with the hentai anime kind of backdrop, but then the crazy Frozen stuff. That kind of whole segment is exquisite. I think the fashion on tours, especially in recent years, is probably outshone what she's given us through the promotional or video campaigns. Until again with Madame X, where it just kind of all belongs together, visually belongs together. It's not like it's something that she's had a last minute thought on or kind of wanted to redo this completely. This has all been our full story from start to finish. Whereas I think a lot of the tours have really just brought the music to life, especially with a lot of the outfits.
Yeah. Favorite Madonna movie?
Oh, I don't have one. I don't watch Madonna.
Oh, stop it. You have to have a favorite Madonna movie.
A League of Their Own.
There you go. See, that wasn't hard.
I remember.
You don't like Truth or Dare?
I don't consider it a movie. It's a documentary.
It's a movie.
It's where I learned to swallow a bottle.
Oh, well, hey. Dear Madonna, Thanks for helping me learn how to give head. Love, Michael.
Yeah, on my typewriter.
Favorite Madonna look, and this can be from a music video, a tour program.
I'm gonna say I only just rediscovered this the other day. The 1998 VH1 Fashion Awards, where she's in that gorgeous yellow gown by Olivier Theiston. I'm gonna butcher that totally, but she's actually been a big reason why he's now an internationally famous designer. That was amazing. The black hair, all the kind of the oversized kind of accessories through the neck, that kind of witch vibe, but she kind of gave it another spin again where she kind of went for this beautifully like yellow color, which should look good on no one, but it looks exquisite on her.
Yeah, that was it's a striking look for her. I'm not a big fan of like canary yellow type, like I would never wear a yellow like that because I would probably look jaundiced as hell, but she carries it off somehow. I don't know how she made that work.
She really does. I love, anytime Madonna has black or dark hair is an absolute win. I think that's pretty wild.
My favorite Madonna look.
Every look just
my favorite Madonna look, Goth Donna. What do you like, Goth Donna?
Goth Donna. I love Goth Donna. I think again, there was only one that I actually properly discovered when you guys spoke about it enough. I was like, I actually had to Google it, and I was like, oh, of course. She's got so many looks that you just don't. That you forget about. I mean, one of my all-time favorites as well is the Fever look with the Jean-Paul Gaultier with the fringing on the arms. Like that is just, it's only for a split second or two in that video, and she just opens up her arms, and you're just like, holy shit, that is such a beautiful shot. And then you just never see it again. She doesn't bring it up in the video after the second chorus, and it's done. Yeah,
it's funny how she does stuff like that. Like I think I'd seen Katy Perry in concert, and like Katy Perry will trot out looks that she wears in videos to be like, look, it's the outfit from my video.
Yeah.
And like Madonna does not, like Madonna will put an outfit in. Maybe Don't Tell Me is probably the closest we've ever gotten to like her trotting out a similar look from a video in concert.
Totally. But I mean, it's a cowboy hat and jeans, and which she pioneered in the early 2000s. That was her again, doing that video and that album era was, there was one point in her career where everything she did, the fashion catwalks, then copied her. That was the power of her for a good 10, 15 years of her career. It was insane. I miss that. I do miss that. I'd love another era where we could kind of have that again. I don't think we will, but that cowboy thing is coming back again. So she's going to start self-referencing herself.
Who knows? Maybe in the greatest hits tour that we hopefully get in 2023. You never know.
No, we're getting a new album. Don't jinx it.
Really? You think we are?
Not at all. By 2023, I hope there's at least talks of a new album.
2023, I'm assuming it'll be at least a single for the biopic, followed by a greatest hits tour. I'm hoping we get a little bit more than just one song.
I think the biopic is a home run, both in commercial success and quality. I think if she's savvy enough, she's probably been working on some music quite loosely for like the last year or so. I wouldn't be surprised. And then okay, cool. Like now's the time to strike again. Let's hit while it's hot. If that's the case, if it's another kind of movie endeavor that isn't as successful, then I can probably imagine it maybe followed up with the greatest hits package, and then they're done. So yeah.
Well, Michael, thanks so much for joining us today. I'm glad we were able to finally get you on the show. We had a little snippet of you in our erotica tribute episode back in season 2, but I've always wanted to bring you on the show for a proper chat. So I'm glad we were able to actually do this.
I'm so thankful. Thank you for having me, and thank you for I know this time last year I was actually discovering your podcast for the first time, and it got me through a crazy London lockdown, 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever it was, and catching up on all the episodes was the most amazing thing. It was just so great to switch you guys on and just Madonna out for a little bit.
Yeah, so you powered through. I mean, God bless you. You're like binging the show, and I'm just like, oh, he's a trooper.
Yeah. I'm a completist.
Let everyone know where they can find you on social.
Like you said, my Instagram isn't really like that fashion. It doesn't document a lot of my fashion stuff, but Michael.Politakis on Instagram. Where else? Not really anywhere else at this stage. Instagram's the main one for now.
Okay. We'll tag you in some posts. We'll make sure people know where to find you.
Thank you.
And everyone listening, as you should know by now, you can find us on Twitter and Instagram at MLVC Podcast. You can also donate to the podcast on Venmo at MLVC Podcast. We also have a Patreon page set up, patreon.podbean.com/MLVC Podcast. We are going to be doing a special patron-only live show next month in honor of the Madam X premiere on Paramount Plus. So make sure you subscribe so you can participate in that. We're going to take some calls and we're going to watch the show and talk about Madam X. It'll be like a sports event, only Madonna. Michael, thanks again. How will you be watching the Madam X tour on Paramount Plus?
I think I'll be streaming with a couple of friends from back at home. We'll have a bit of a wine and get my streaming on. I can't bloody wait. It looks so colourful and so wonderful. It should be great. Hopefully not over-edited.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear what you think about it.
Yeah. You'll definitely know my thoughts.
All right, Michael, have a good one.
You too, mate. Thanks again.
Well, think I am. Brain inside my only friend. Hope it gives me birth each new. That dope I don't smoke, it's true. You're not gonna be able to use this for anything. It's my costume. Stop filming me!